Hi, sorry about that. My video cut out. So we were at the part where we were assessing circulation, and we're going to say that our pet has no circulation and no pulse. So we're going to go ahead and start chest compressions. Talking about chest compressions, you want to we do a two-hand grasp theory. So your dominant hand and your non-dominant hand are going to clasp from palm to palm. You're going to locate the pet's heart by bringing their elbow distally towards their chest, and where their elbow meets the chest is where the heart is generally going to sit. For a round dog such as this, you want to go over the highest point of the chest, which sits about here, to initiate the thoracic pump theory. Also with keel-chested dogs, such as boxers, small dogs, and cats, you actually want to utilize the cardiac pump theory, which where you take your forefinger, middle finger, and your thumb, and you're actually going to squeeze their heart into the chest. You're going to do compressions in that fashion for these smaller animals. For barrel-chested dogs, you actually want to roll them over in a dorsal recumbency to maximize that recoil effort. Chest compressions are done about halfway to a third of the way of the chest down. You don't want to compress all the way, as you can damage tissues to the heart and into the thoracic cavity. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate here. You should see my light up here in green when I've done correct chest compressions. Chest compressions are done uninterrupted for 2 whole minutes until we will do our next assessment. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate the chest compressions here. So we have our hand, and we're going to make sure our shoulders come in line with our hands, making sure that you do not lean on the pet as you do this. You're going to be bending from your waist and not from your elbows. Compressions are not done at the elbows. So we're going to go ahead and find the heart, locate the heart here, and we're going to go ahead and the rate is 100 to 120 beats per minute, so you can either do this to the tune of Bee Gees' Staying Alive or Queen's Another One Bites the Dust, and it's going to go look like this. So again, ha, 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 staying alive, staying alive. So you see the green light indicator? That's letting me know that I'm getting correct chest compressions. I'm keeping my elbows locked, and I'm bending at my waist and not leaning on the patient. This is going to go on for 2 minutes. And again, if you get tired, make sure that you have another assistant that can come over and switch out with you as you're giving chest compressions. You do not want to stop chest compressions. So say the 2-minute interval has occurred, and we're going to go ahead and stop, and we're going to check for a pulse, and we're going to listen for circulation as well as check for breathing. So in this case, we're going to say we still have no pulse, we have no circulation, and our pet is still not breathing. So in conjunction, while I continue compressions, again, we're going to have someone come and place the endotracheal tube simultaneously to while I'm giving compressions. Again, you do not want to stop compressions. So we have our endotracheal placement, and we can deliver emergency breaths. Emergency breaths are delivered at 10 breaths per minute, or about 1 breath every 6 to 8 seconds. Here, in most cases with emergencies, we like to utilize the Ambu Bag just because of its simplicity, and the difference is with an anesthetic machine, you have to constantly close off the pop-off valve to bag the patient air. So we're going to go ahead and demonstrate. So that was chest compressions. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate breathing with an Ambu Bag. So the Ambu Bag is generally hooked up. There we are. And again, remember the time you have oxygen to the brain, you have less than 4 to 5 minutes to deliver oxygen to the brain before detrimental issues can happen. So here you have your Ambu Bag here. We're going to go ahead and hook up straight to our endotracheal tube. The oxygen line is hooked up to my anesthetic unit here, and you're going to give inspirations of 1 second. So one squeeze, you're going to go 1. You also want to make sure that you're looking at your manometer and you're not giving any more than 20 centimeters of water with each respiration. So we have a rate of 10 breaths per minute, so that's 1 breath every 6 to 8 seconds. And you want to continue chest compressions for 2 minutes uninterrupted. So say another 2 minutes has gone by, and we're going to go ahead and reassess our patient. So we're going to go ahead and check for a pulse. Say now in this case our patient has a pulse. In this case, we're going to go ahead and discontinue chest compressions and say our pet's still not breathing. Continue breathing for the patient until the next 2-minute interval continues. You can also check to see if the pet is breathing on its own as well. If it were vice versa and the pet, say, had a heartbeat and was not breathing, you would continue the breathing for the patient and discontinued compressions. And so vice versa, if the pet was breathing on its own, you would discontinue breathing for the pet and continue chest compressions if the pet was still not circulating. This goes on for about 10 minutes. After about 10 minutes, it's up to the doctor. We do make the call at about 10 to 20 minutes if advanced life support at that time is not working for the patient. Usually after about the 2-minute interval, if we're not seeing any improvement, advanced life support usually starts at that point. This includes epinephrine, atropine injections, and further treatments for that patient. Moving on, breathing for the patient. Instead of the Ambu Bag, we can definitely hook up our patient to an anesthetic circuit, which we'll go ahead and simulate here. You would hook up your patient to the anesthetic circuit, like so. Before you give your breath, you're going to close off your pop-off valve. You're going to deliver a breath. Remember watching your manometer at 1 inspiration. And you're going to reopen your pop-off valve to make sure that if your pet is breathing, they can exhale. Let's see. This is, that's cardiopulmonary resuscitation.